Hey everybody, welcome back. This is the second video today. There's a new fusion, and I assume it's starting on Thursday. They usually don't show you the fusion unless it's going to be starting, and usually it's on a Thursday. So, me not being in the content creator program, which is totally fine, um, that's just the information I'm kind of amassing right now. I see content creators putting videos out on this guy saying he is a must fuse. Okay, and then I see the community reaction to this, and it's actually the opposite. The community actually does not want to fuse this guy. We'll go over the abilities here in a minute. He is a panda. I love pandas. Most people love pandas. Um, sorry, checking my head. I just walked through a fucking spider web. Um, but yeah, let's just kind of go over his abilities. People are saying that if I can't look at a champion's abilities and know instantly what he does, then he's not a good champion. It's not a good design. Another person said that you shouldn't bust your resources for a champion that may or may not be good in content that isn't even out yet. And I agree with both of those people. Okay, so let's just go over him. This is Bombus Fourleaf. He is a skinwalker, and he is a magic support champion. His first ability, Bamboo Splinter, does A1. Attacks an enemy, has a 75% chance when booked of placing decreased speed for 2 turns. Will attack all enemies instead of the initial target. If the initial target is under 2 or more debuffs, this attack has a 40% chance, books up to 65% chance of placing decreased speed for 2 turns. Then place a sleep debuff on this champion for a turn. This debuff cannot be blocked or resisted. Okay. His A2, Grove Tender. When booked is a 4-turn cooldown. Attacks all enemies before attacking. Places shield on all allies equal to 30% of the champion's max HP for 2 turns. Also increases the duration of all buffs on all allies by a turn. After attacking, has a 100% chance, when booked, of decreasing the duration of all enemy buffs by a turn, even if the attack lands as a weak hit. Okay, that's pretty good. Also increases the value of any shield buff on all allies by 2% for each enemy buff that had its duration decreased by the skill. Then places a sleep debuff on this champion for a turn. This debuff cannot be blocked or resisted. Okay. Dream Sight. Target an enemy. 4-turn cooldown when booked. First, it will place increased accuracy and an increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. Then 100% chance of placing an enfeebled debuff. Okay, so this is the first champion in the entire game that we have that puts enfeeble. Okay. 100% chance of placing an enfeebled debuff on the target enemy for 2 turns. The enfeebled debuff cannot be placed on bosses, however. Also has a 100% chance of placing decreased accuracy on all enemies for 2 turns. Finally, places sleep on this champion for a turn. This debuff cannot be blocked or resisted. Okay. So Dream Sight targets one person. He buffs the entire team with increased accuracy and increased attack, and then he hits that one person with enfeeble. Okay. And it also gives them decreased accuracy on all enemies for 2 turns. Okay. Interesting. The Sleeping Sage passive has a 50% chance of transferring any debuffs placed on an ally to this champion while they are under a sleep debuff. It will not transfer, block, revive, blah, 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 all that. Okay. At the start of this champion's turn, remove any sleep debuffs from this champion. Okay. And then the active effect of the passive is transfers all debuffs from this champion to the enemy with the highest resistance. If a sleep debuff was removed from this champion by this champion's passive skill, this effect cannot be resisted. He has an aura, 25% HP increase in all battles. He's very cool. Okay, and I gotta say, I like his kit. I'm gonna point some things out though, alright? The cooldowns are too long. That was actually something I saw from other people complaining. The cooldowns are too long. If Grave Tender, if that was a 3-turn cooldown, great. Or you can keep it a 4-turn cooldown, but Dream Sight, I think, honestly needs to be a 3-turn cooldown ability. It's not that powerful. It's good, but it's not that powerful. I actually really like this guy. I love pandas. I kind of want to go for him, but I think this is like the 3rd fusion in a row I skip. I'm really just not being sold on this guy. Like, I'm tempted. Like, the inside of me, I'm like, like, fucking panda, I mean, hey, but yeah, he's very interesting. So essentially, his entire kit is this, okay? He will place decreased speed with his A1. If the target he hits with his A1 has 2 debuffs or more, that instead of a single target A1, it's an AoE A1, okay? Then he puts a sleep on himself. His Grove Tender ability will attack everybody, but before attacking, he will place a shield on himself and all allies up to 30% of his max HP. Oh no, I'm sorry, of their max HP for 2 turns. It'll increase the buff duration on everybody by a turn, and then, when booked, has a 100% chance of decreasing all buff durations on the enemy team by a turn. Okay, this and that, the Grove Tender ability cannot land as a weak hit. That's actually great. He's kind of like a Hydra guy, right? Because he can hit through Poison Cloud, which is amazing. And then he increases the value of shield buffs on all allies by 2% for each enemy buff that has duration decreased by the skill. Kind of like a Brogni ability, not really. And then he goes to sleep. Which, I mean, look at all the text on this guy. No fucking shit, he's got to go to sleep. Right? This man needs to sleep after reading his own abilities. And then Dream Sight is the coup de grace. Great ability. Gives everybody on your team increased accuracy and increased attack. So it's a lot like Yoshi the Drunkard. Now remember, when Yoshi came out, everybody shit on Yoshi. And then Yoshi was really good in bomb teams because he gave you increased accuracy and increased attack, which are 2 things that bomb champions need the most. Right? Then he's the only person in the game right now that places Enfeeble on one enemy, and then he also gives the entire enemy team decreased accuracy for 2 turns, and then he goes to sleep. I like that it says on Dream Sight at the very end of what it does, it says finally places a sleep debuff on himself. Like the intern or the guy that had to type up this entire sheet of like what this guy does was finally tired of typing. It's kind of funny. And then while he sleeps, he transfers debuffs from his allies to himself, and then from himself to the person with the highest resistance on the team. And if it's a sleep debuff, it cannot be resisted. That right there is the gist of this guy. He's an HP champion, or he's a support champion, but he brings an HP aura into battle. I like him. I want to like him more to really commit to it, but I don't have shards. I'm not going to buy shards. I'm kind of done spending money. I'm going to stick around and keep making content for Raid because I actually really do love this game. I've been playing it for years. We're going on 4.5, 5 years now for Raid's anniversary. I've been playing it almost the entire time. I didn't get into the beta. That was the thing. Yeah. Man, I really want to like this guy. But again, this guy, kind of mid-tier. Like, when you looked at Ganut, you knew Ganut was going to be amazing. And everybody went for Ganut. You looked at Ganut, you saw his A3, and it was a 3-hitter max, like, HP, enemy max HP hit, and you went, only guy that does that, that's like having 3 husks on your team, okay? Now, if you've watched my other video today, you know that I've talked about the event that's going to be going on starting tomorrow and Wednesday is you get a sacred and you get a legendary, right? You get an extra legendary if you get a legendary out of your sacreds. Do it on Wednesday, you get another Ganut. Or you can do it tomorrow if you're really arena focused and you want a Harima, right? So, yeah, I'm 50-50 on this guy. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I think he's probably gonna have some uses in the new content that's probably gonna come out. I think one of the complaints I've heard is that Raid hasn't had good content drop since Doom Tower, and I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree. And we'll do another video. I'll do it tomorrow about why that is a correct statement. Okay. So, as always, thanks for tuning in, guys. And I love you. God bless, and goodbye.